Deep in the Whispering Woods lived a fairy named Lila. She had bright blue eyes and wings that shimmered like dewdrops. Lila could talk to the trees and animals. They whispered secrets to her. The Whispering Woods held a special magic. Lila felt it in her heart. She promised to protect it forever. Every day she explored the forest, discovering new wonders. She found hidden glades and secret spots. The forest was her home, and she loved it dearly. One day something strange happened. The forest felt different. The leaves looked dull. Lila felt a shiver run down her spine. Something was wrong. The Whispering Woods was always alive with music, but today everything was silent. Lila flew to her favorite spot by the stream. Today it was murky and still. Lila knew she had to find out. This was her home. Lila needed help. She flew to her friends, Petal and Thorn. Petal was a gentle fairy with wings as pink as rose petals. Thorn was a brave fairy with wings as sharp as thorns. "The forest is in trouble," Lila said. "The magic is fading." They were as worried as Lila. The Whispering Woods was their home too. "We have to find out what's wrong," said Petal. "And we have to fix it," added Thorn. They decided to split up. They would search the forest for clues. They would meet back at Lila's favorite spot by the stream. Lila flew north towards the Whispering Waterfall. Petal flew east towards the sunlit meadow. Thorn flew west towards the crystal caves. They each hoped to find answers. They knew they had to save their home. Lila flew over the trees. She searched for any sign of trouble, yet the magic was definitely gone. She reached the Whispering Waterfall. But the waterfall wasn't whispering, it was silent. Suddenly Lila heard Petal's voice. "Lila, I found something." It led her to the thorny thicket. It was a dangerous place, but they had to find out what was happening to their forest. Lila and Petal cautiously entered the thorny thicket. The thorns scratched at their wings and clothes, but Lila and Petal pressed on, undeterred. On the ground there was a footprint. It was a goblin footprint. Lila and Petal exchanged a worried look. They had to find out what it meant. Lila and Petal followed the goblin tracks. They led them deeper into the thorny thicket. The thorns grew thicker, but Lila and Petal didn't give up. Finally, they reached a clearing. In the center sat a goblin. He had a green nose and pointed ears. He was fiddling with something shiny. The goblin sighed. "My name is Grizzle," he mumbled, "and I found this shiny thing." He reluctantly held out the object he'd been hiding. It was a piece of crystal, and it shimmered with a faint magical light. "Where did you find that?" Lila asked, her voice hushed with awe. Grizzle pointed. "Near the crystal spring." Lila gasped. Lila explained to Grizzle about the crystal spring and its importance. She told him about the fading magic and the silent waterfall. As Lila spoke, Grizzle's eyes widened. He looked down at the crystal shard in his hand. "It's all right, Grizzle," said Petal, placing a reassuring hand on his arm. He carefully placed the crystal shard back where it belonged. A warm, tingling feeling spread through the air, signaling the magic's return. The moment the crystal shard was back in its rightful place, the Whispering Woods came alive again. Lila, Petal and Grizzle raced towards the sound. When they reached the Whispering Waterfall, they were met with a sight that made their hearts soar. Lila threw her arms around Petal, laughing in delight. They had saved the Whispering Woods. That night, they celebrated under the stars, sharing stories and dreams. News of the restored magic spread through the Whispering Woods. Soon the clearing was filled with Lila's animal friends. The rabbits hopped with glee. The birds sang their sweetest songs. Lila, Petal and Thorn stood in the center, hearts overflowing. They had faced a challenge and overcome it together. Lila learned a valuable lesson that day, a lesson about friendship, bravery and protecting nature. She knew she would never forget this magical adventure.